It is a wicked week of winter weather unfolding across the Commonwealth of Kentucky. I've got 2 winter storms to track just ahead.
Search crews raced against the cold weather this morning as they looked for a man who wandered away from home.
The temperature went up, the sun came out, but it appears that snow may be on the way. Road crews in southern Kentucky tell me they're ready for it.
WKYT News starts now with First Alert Weather.
Good afternoon to you. It is time to dig out the shovels and salt. After a blast of bitter cold, we are now tracking snow taking aim at our area.
Our WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day continues due to that system heading our way. Let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey. A lot going on, Chris, coming this way.
Yeah, very busy out there with 2 storm systems targeting the region. As you mentioned, that first one just hours away from producing the first flakes here across central and eastern Kentucky. That'll start very late tonight, early tomorrow morning. Here is our storm. This isn't a big, humongous winter storm that we're tracking, but anytime you see that little curl on the northern side of an area of low pressure, that means it's got some nice little spin with it. It's got some lift. That's what you need to get the atmosphere to rise and produce precipitation. That is in the form of snow now across Missouri and getting in now in some flakes not too far away from western Kentucky. Notice how the cloud shield is getting east of Interstate 65 now. All that mess will continue to work its way toward the east. Go about your evening plans. Absolutely no travel troubles to worry about this evening outside of just being very, very cold. We do have a winter weather advisory that starts late tonight and goes through tomorrow for all of central and eastern Kentucky. The exception to that, the areas in the pink. That's a winter storm warning. We are looking at you, Russell County, Adair County, back to the west toward Bowling Green, Evansville, and Owensboro. How much snow are we talking about with this first system? As mentioned yesterday, the farther northeast, the lighter the amounts, an inch or 2 in some cases. You get into the bluegrass region of the Lexington Metro and southbound on 75, a general 2 to 4 inch snowfall. And look at the area in the darker blue from Somerset, roughly the Lake Cumberland area and west. Some areas could be talking about 3 to 6 inches of snow. Believe it or not, around between Bowling Green and Paducah, guys, I could see more than 6 inches falling in a few cases. Now, that's the first system. The second system is the bigger of the 2. It arrives Thursday night into Friday. Coming up in a little bit, we'll show you what the late afternoon computer models are trending a little colder with that storm and what that may mean for snow totals just ahead.
Chris, thank you. Quite a situation this morning as first responders raced to find a man who was missing in the extreme cold weather.
The 77-year-old wandered away from his home in the Raleigh Court area of Lexington wearing only a T-shirt, long johns, socks, and a couple of blankets. Fortunately, searchers tracked him down before it was too late. WKYT's Hillary Thornton shows us the happy ending in our top story at 5.
It was a tense hour in the area off of Eastland Parkway.
Very sad, actually.
As neighbors watched police and fire search in the bitterly cold temperatures for 77-year-old William Henry Cook.
It's scary, especially with it being this cold.
Cook was reported missing by his wife around 8:30 Tuesday morning.
He's been confused since his stroke last summer, and his wife has just done a wonderful job taking care of him, but sometimes he just gives her the slip, you know, and this morning she just went into the bathroom and she said, "I'll just be in here a minute," and when she came out, he was gone.
The search of the neighborhood going on for about an hour when Cook's next-door neighbor on Raleigh Court headed out to join in the search.
I started up the truck, then I seen a head moving in the back of the truck. It kind of scared me at first because I knew, you know, shouldn't nobody be in my truck. Then it hit me all at once. It was that Mr. Cook in there. It could be Mr. Cook, so I went and looked, and that's who it was. It was Mr. Cook.
We were there as first responders helped him out of that vehicle where he was taking shelter from the cold, wearing only a T-shirt, long johns, and socks, while wrapped in several blankets. Officers say they were checking cars, but because he was laying down and covered up in those blankets, he was hard to see inside of his neighbor's car.
It's his blanket.
Just thank you, Lord. That was my reaction, was just thank you, Lord. And it's very hard on his wife because she has him 24/7, and he's confused. We're just really thankful that God worked it all out.
In Lexington, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Well, Cook was taken to the hospital to be checked out. Family members say he is expected to be okay.
Across Kentucky, road crews have started getting ready for all that snow. From checking salt supplies to planning their schedules, crews have plenty of work to do before the snow arrives. Our Phil Pendleton shows us the preparations in Pulaski County.
There are more than 100 miles of city streets here in the city of Somerset. The sun may be out now, but city road crews know that the weather can quickly change. They say they are ready for whatever happens in the next 24 to 48 hours. Snow plows are on the trucks and the salt dome is filled to capacity. Tonight it could be all hands on deck as road crews get ready to tackle whatever falls from the sky.
Well, we will be on notice. They know when they go home this afternoon that it's very likely they're going to get a phone call from me at some point during the night, whether it's 3 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock or whenever, that, hey, we need you to come to work. Across town at the State Highway Garage, crews were busy fitting a grader with tire chains. Inside their salt dome sits more than 1,600 tons of salt. Workers have been told to come in at midnight.
They will come in and they'll pull 12-hour shifts. We have teams of crews that'll come in. We call them our A teams and our B teams, and they'll continually just switch in and out every 12 hours, you know, until the roads are clear and the snow stops.
Road crews are in a much better shape now than they were this time last year when they had to order salt from out of state. Much more on the state of the salt supply coming up at 6 o'clock. But for now, in Pulaski County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Pulaski County crews will be salting and plowing 1,000 miles of state highway.
In Jessamine County, road crews say they're ready to go. As WKYT's Garrett Weimer shows us, they've spent the last couple of days making sure they have everything they need to stay ahead of the snow.
Here at the street department in Nicholasville, employees have been working to get equipment ready and also loading up with salt. Now they say they're just waiting on the snow to start falling. They've got a barn full of salt and all hands on deck. The public works superintendent here says it's been a busy week and it's likely about to get busier. He says they've been watching the forecast so they have an idea of what to expect and when to expect it.
We'll wait till it snows pretty good and gets a good cover on it before we start.
Superintendent David Brown says they've done what they can to get ready, checking and testing their equipment, loading up that salt, continuing to track the coming snow. Now everything and everyone is ready to go when they're needed.
Pretty much, you know, we just wait, we get a call, and we all come out and throw together and get it done.
Brown reminds folks just to be careful and give crews time to treat and clear the roads. In Nicholasville, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Here in Lexington, crews are preparing for all the snowfall this week. Streets and roads crews have loaded up their salt trucks and they'll get them out on the road starting at midnight tonight. Depending on the amount that falls in the early morning hours, city leaders say they'll send a second crew out sometime between 4 and 6 to keep priority routes clear. And we do have some school closings coming in already for tomorrow. You can find a complete list by going to WKYT.com. And remember, you can track the winter weather with the WKYT Weather Plus Traffic app. You can download it for free on your smartphone or your tablet.
Prosecutors have decided not to seek the death penalty against a man accused of killing a retired school bus driver. Our county-by-county coverage begins in Scott County. Police say that Nicholas Willinger beat Sue Jones to death after breaking into her home back in 2010. The news graphic reports he will now face either a life sentence without parole or 25 years in prison without parole. In Clark County, we'll learn tonight whether the chairman of the school board will resign his post. Michael Kudik admits that he vented his anger over the superintendent's new contract on a yard sign after a meeting in December. He says last week investigators told him he must resign his post or face a criminal charge. He's expected to announce his final decision during tonight's school board meeting that's scheduled for 6:30 tonight at the board office. A former U.S. prisoner in Iran is closer to getting home.
Amir Hekmati arrived in Germany where he talked about his release. He and 3 others were released last week as part of a prisoner swap. As Marley Hall shows us, Hekmati says he feels lucky and can't wait to go home.
Amir Hekmati told reporters in Germany he can't wait to go home to Michigan.
I really want to see my family and be back in the land of the free.
Hekmati was one of 4 Americans released as part of a prisoner swap with Iran. The former Marine spent 4.5 years in an Iranian prison on spying charges he denies.
I was at a point where I had just sort of accepted the fact that I was going to be spending 10 years in prison. So this was a surprise.
A Swiss military plane carrying Hekmati, Washington Post reporter Jason Rezaian, and Pastor Saeed Abedini arrived at a U.S. military hospital in Germany Sunday, where they underwent medical checkups. Rezaian, who spent 18 months behind bars, met with family members, his editors, and congressmen.
He continues to be in great spirits. His health is sound.
Hekmati says his Marine training helped him through his ordeal.
I tried my best to, keep my head up and withstand all the pressures that were put upon me, some of which were very inhumane and unjust.
Hekmati reunited with his sister in Germany and hopes to return home soon to see his father, who is ill. Marley Hall, CBS News, New York.
The 4th released American decided to stay in Iran. A 5th American was released separately. Donald Trump picked up a high-profile endorsement today. Sarah Palin is throwing her support behind Trump. Trump made several stops in Iowa today, while his closest competitor, Ted Cruz, made 6 stops in New Hampshire. The pair have been attacking one another along the way, each claiming the other is caving.
156,000 chickens will be euthanized because of a bird flu outbreak in southwestern Indiana. The outbreak has hit 10 turkey farms about 70 miles west of Louisville. The chickens are at risk because they're housed at one of those farms. Crews have already been working to euthanize more than 245,000 turkeys. Next time you stop by the grocery store, you might see Bluebell ice cream on the shelves. The company is delivering products to parts of the Southeast, including Kentucky and Tennessee this week. Bluebell pulled ice cream products last year following a listeria outbreak.
It is time now for better living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. As the nation's heroin problem grows, so does the search for a way to stop it. There's a new treatment more and more addicts have turned to for help. As Kenneth Craig shows us, it's essentially a vaccine against heroin.
Sean Lyman brings his family to a standing appointment at the doctor's office. Every 28 days, the recovering heroin addict is injected with the treatment drug he says has turned his life around.
And when you look back at where you were 2 years ago,
it makes me sick, literally sick.
The 25-year-old Vermont resident has battled addiction for years, in and out of jail and rehab programs that haven't worked. Now he's among a small but growing number of addicts embracing the drug Vivitrol. It is the first treatment that's kept him clean.
See you in a month.
Yep. Users go through detox first, then the monthly injection stops cravings and blocks the body's opioid receptors, so even if they try to get high, they don't feel it.
You actually sort of put it to the test.
Yeah, I tried it. At the time, I was very angry that I didn't get high, but the next day I was so thankful.
Vermont Governor Peter Shumlin has been candid and outspoken about his state's heroin problem. He thinks Vivitrol may be part of the solution.
The first thing we're doing is approving it in all of our treatment centers, and we've been building out treatment centers like mad in Vermont. So then we also wanted to try it in our prisons because, frankly, that's a good place to do it.
This state prison begins a pilot program this month, offering addicts the injection before they are released. The drug maker believes Vermont is the only state approving it for use statewide, in treatment centers and eventually all prisons.
Let's start to provide treatment and medicines that can actually get people back to productive lives.
Lyman says he is doing just that. He has a full-time job and a daughter. A constant reminder of why he's fighting to stay clean. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, White River Junction, Vermont.
Vermont is using a $3 million grant to roll out its pilot program. Many insurance companies and Medicaid cover Vivitrol, which would otherwise cost more than $1,000 a month. The drug maker estimates it's in use in 100 programs in 30 different states. From the looks of the forecast, it appears we'll be shoveling snow over the next few days. The way you do it can make a difference in your health. Experts say you need to dress in breathable layers and stay hydrated while working out in the cold. Don't wait until the snow is done falling before you try to remove it, and try pushing the snow instead of lifting it to avoid straining your back. The tools you use can make a big difference as well.
An ergonomic shovel is often the best because it can help relieve some of the pressure from your back, and then the type that you can push are very helpful.
Doctors say it's important to know your physical limits. You can still overexert yourself even if you're using a snowblower.